And now to what's considered the most important release from Microsoft in more than a decade. This morning, the software giant launches its newest operating system. It's called Windows 7. And here to unveil it to the world is Microsoft CEO Steve Ballmer. Steve, good morning. Nice to see you.
Good to be here. Thanks, man.
9 out of 10 people use an operating system like this to run their computer, but a lot of people don't know the difference between an operating system and an operating room. So let's keep this simple.
Yes,
okay?
sir.
All right. So why is this different? Why is this important?
You have, over the world, hundreds of millions of people every year buying PCs. We just wanted to make them simpler, faster, more responsive.
As compared to Vista, which was not the rave success it might have been. You weren't all that happy with it. Some users weren't happy with it. They said it's clunky. What's the biggest difference between Vista and Windows 7?
Well, I think the number one thing, Vista, hundreds of millions of users, most of them very, very happy. But people will turn this on, they'll see that it boots faster, immediately up and running, better battery life on the laptops, the user interface clean, simpler, snappy. People like
when
that
you
stuff.
say snappy, let's bring in Charlotte Jones, who is a group product manager for Microsoft. Snappy. Show me the bells and whistles. What are people going to be talking about when they learn about this today?
Well, first of all, you can get Windows 7 on a variety of PCs, from these netbooks all the way up to this high-end gaming PC. And it's coming out on new PCs all the time. Let me show you this brand new one. You have to be careful not to accidentally recycle this puppy. Look at that.
Oh, wow. That is thin.
Thinnest laptop ever.
That is really thin. It's
brand new today. That's the Dell Adamo XPS.
Right.
Pretty light, too, Matt.
Okay, it's very
Amazing.
light. The way people use computers today is very different than the way they used them 2 years ago and 5 years ago and 10 years ago.
And this PC is
how's
a great
this going to help them with that?
This is a touch PC. This is the Sony Vaio L. And Windows 7 comes enabled with touch already, so these kinds of programs are going to work great right out of the box. I've got some photos here in my photo collage. I can use touch to change them around.
What was that movie where the Minority Report?
Minority Report, exactly.
In there. And then I can save this, and it becomes my personalized desktop.
So in other words, when people are concerned now with movies, photos, music, and things, this system makes it easier to handle those things.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. You have a computer, you want to play to remote speakers in the house. Computer can be the center of your media life.
People, it used to be, it seemed to me, correct me if I'm wrong because you're the expert, that it was the business users that drove the market. Has that completely shifted now? Is it all about the consumers?
Now, things started out on the consumer side when the PC was launched, and then business kind of took over. But consumers will buy 65% of the PCs in the world this year, and we got to make them fun.
And for personal use, what you're finding more and more of, Steve, is that people want portable. That they aren't spending as much time, and you know this, sitting in front of a PC or a desktop. They're on the go. Portability, is that the entire wave of the future?
Portability from the very smallest, but hey, maybe you want to put one in the kitchen. We got that for you. You want to put one next to your television set, so you can get the internet on your TV, or the very small ones.
But sticking on that subject, and I'm going to bring up some names here you don't want to talk about all that much, all right? Are you worried that the day is coming here, and it's not too far in the future, that people are going to not need the Windows system because they're going to get all their computing needs handled on an iPhone with all those applications?
I think when it comes time, people need and like big screens. For watching television, people like bigger screens. For reading, for writing. So there's going to be a mix. People are going to have intelligence in their PC and in their phone, also important, and in their TV.
When I looked at what Charlotte just did here with the touch screen and she moved things around, it's got the wow factor. It's got the technology. The fact of the matter is, though, when people talk about the company Apple, they say it's a cool company. It's a cutting-edge company. You've got to compete with that as the CEO of Microsoft. Are you envious about the image they've created?
I think Apple's a fine company, but I'm real happy that in the United States, 9 out of every 10 people pick a Windows PC, and with Windows 7, that'll even be a more obvious choice.
So you can keep that percentage up moving into the future? You can keep it above 9 out of 10, above 90%?
You're not going to find this diversity of cool hardware from anybody else other than from our family of Windows partners.
I've got you here on an interesting day, Steve. As a corporate CEO, there's a lot of talk in the news today about corporate pay, about salaries and bonuses, cracking down on some major companies. I just want your perspective on this. As a CEO, is the clamping down and the capping of salaries for some of these companies, is it good business or is it bad for business?
Because of the government's involvement in the companies, I think you just got to think about it as an anomaly, and then it's a question of government policy. In general, I think the market works pretty well. but these are companies where the market wasn't working, I guess, quite as well, and government did get involved.
So in other words, what you're saying is that the government can have its say right now, but then down the road it's going to go back to the free marketplace and the government's got to step out.
I'm not a policymaker,
Right.
but I know that these are exceptional cases and exceptional times.
Exceptional day for you guys at Microsoft as you launch Windows 7. And Steve, it's nice of you to do it on the show. We appreciate it.
Pleasure to be here. Thanks,
Good to
Matt.
see you. All right.
Appreciate it.
By the way, we should mention that Microsoft is part owner of MSNBC.com. Important to get that out.